Hi, I teach in the College of Design, the Department of Historic Preservation, and I'm going to give you a kind of a personal journey from freaked to comfortable, titled, I Can Do This. Never in a million years thought about teaching online, and our department applied for and received actually 2 rounds of ELI money to put our entire graduate degree in historic preservation online. I was overwhelmed. There was a couple of things that were bothering me. First, I see technology as an end, as a tool, not as something in and of itself. So I didn't understand why. But secondly, historic preservationists are kind of by nature reactionary. We don't like change. People throw themselves in front of the bulldozer, get called hysterical, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. But most importantly, our teaching method, as others have mentioned, they do the same thing. We're hands-on. We're kind of clinical. We're practice. We learn by doing. And so I gather information about buildings from buildings themselves. And how do you do that in an online context? I didn't know how that was going to happen. I eventually became more comfortable with the idea of online education. The first thing we did was have a bunch of meetings with people from CELT and e-learning, and I began to see how dissecting our curriculum for the online presentation could help our curriculum in general. Next, I learned my courses were pretty darn well designed, but we made some bad mistakes. We set out videotaping everything, every single lecture, the whole 3 hours of each and every class we taught for a year. I taped 2-hour architectural history lectures in Camtasia before I learned any better. But then I learned about the Faculty Skills Development Program, and I came to the Innovation and Design Lab, and I began to rethink this approach. We brought in a consulting instructional designer for the department over the summer, and Erica Larson, who used to be here, helped. We ultimately decided that there were some skills we had to teach face-to-face. So for those, we developed a field school, which will run for the first time this summer. It's hybrid, a week online, a week live, another week online. I got dropped into the deep end this semester. I had to teach an online course. I was told during finals week. It was fortunately one that someone else had developed, and I picked it up. And I've learned a couple of things. First, you can't assume anything. Some of my students did not even know how to get to Canvas. The help function and the chat function in Canvas is your friend. Technology messes up. Theirs, mine. I also had the the faculty learning community to fall back on. I worked with the student engagement and motivation group. There's several of us here tonight. I cannot tell you how helpful everyone has been. I learned that technology and learning, and particularly learning historic preservation, are not incompatible. I learned that changing is not necessarily a bad thing. The moral of the story is you can teach an old dog new tricks with support, with some hands-on trial and error, and with just some time and patience. So I'm okay with it. I can do it. Thanks.